generally there are requirements that you need to have before you can start this process. If you want to really start this process, it's just for you to download.
Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Stella. On this channel, I talk about my life here in the UK, what is happening around me, and I share information. So if this content sounds like what you'll be interested in, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share my video. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. And for my returning subscribers, I cite you guys. So guys, here is Nothing here with us. Nothing here, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Nurse Cynthia and I'm based in Canada. I'm a licensed practical nurse in Canada. I'm also a YouTuber and also have social media platforms on Facebook and also on TikTok. Nurse Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
All right, so guys, I'm going to leave all her social media handle on the description below for easy access. Go check her out, guys. Will see lots of informative and interesting content on her channel. So anyway, Sharon, Cynthia, I want us to talk about this PR route. So now, some persons here in the UK are moving from UK to Canada on this PR route, and I'm like, this Canada must be hot though. So please, what are the requirements? What do you think about this Canada PR? And I know that some persons are also moving here and they are struggling to get job. What are the requirements to move to Canada on this PR route that is trend?
Okay, for people that are in the UK, will I say they have the some requirements more than someone that is in Nigeria or in Africa, because of they've gotten international experience and also an international maybe studies and all of that. But someone in Africa needs to have doesn't have all those things. Okay, it's going to be difficult for them, but it's still doable. Like there are some people that move from Africa to Canada and some from Western world to this place too. So it all depends on you. But generally, there are requirements that you need to have before you can start this process. If you want to really start this process, it's just for you to download the CROS calculator. This calculator will help to give you the average or what you can be expecting when you are in the pool, because this permanent resident stuff is a scoring based stuff, right? So you need something that you can use to evaluate yourself before you enter into that route. One of them is make sure you get your CROS calculator and put in your age, because age is one of the requirements. If you are below 30, you are at the verge of having a high score in that particular column, because is a scoring based stuff, right? So each column has its score. Okay, so when you are above 30, it doesn't matter, but you still have a score, but it might not be like someone that is below 30. Then
Yeah.
another one too that you need to have is you have to make sure you have your language test. Canada is a bilingual country. They speak French, they speak English. So if you are in if you are in French speaking country, I think they even migrate people that have French language more than English speaking country and all of that. So if you can be able to get those two, and that is because now I know they last time they had policy change and all of that. So now it's going to be difficult. So um, for you to stand out in this route, you need to have those languages like French, English. Okay, because I know some people that they were not French speakers, right? But they
Mm.
have to study this French for about 6 months, because they are willing to. If you really want to um, if you really want to pursue your goals and all of that, if Canada is your dream country, you need to stand out. You need to do something people are not doing. You
Yeah.
need to have that zeal that I want to get this thing. Okay. So what
Mm.
are they doing that? What will I do extra for me to stand out, for me to be eligible? Because if some of those requirements are not complete or your score is very low, there's no way they can call you unless you are into healthcare, that they're looking for healthcare that if God wants to have mercy on you, they can easily contact you and all of that. But if you don't have all of this, it's good you venture into having those two languages. It's going to help you a lot. So some people go for French and also for IELTS, right? And when you are studying for IELTS, please ensure that you are concentrating more on the listening part carries the highest mark, because if you don't have listening, um the listening band, the more it's also going to reduce your score. So I think the best thing to do is that when you are studying for IELTS, please ensure have you put more concentration on listening. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, and if you want to study for the both, that's excellent, right? Then the next one too is your work experience. If you have worked for minimum of 1 year or more than 1 year, that's a good one. And you also have to prove that by using your salary or your salary that they've paid you during this period. You can go to your bank if you're the one that they send your salary through your bank account. You can go to your bank account to prove that yes, this is the name of the company, this is the salary that I was paid during this period, right? And even if you've worked other places too, you can still give evidence. That's how you give evidence. But if you're not maybe if you are self-employed or if you're a business person, it's good it's good you register your business. Okay, you can use your receipt as an evidence that yes, you have this business. You can screenshot what you and your customers, the chat between you and your customers, I mean the receipt that you are giving them. So that's why it's good to have all those things at hand. So that is it for work experience. And another one too is your educational qualification. You need to have a minimum of maybe your diploma, your BSc. But the higher your educational qualification, the more chances you are to get in that particular score. All right. So sometimes people that have masters or that have multiple educational qualification also stand out in this part, right? But does not mean that if you don't have masters, you can't still come in as a permanent resident. But these are the things that people go through. Maybe after calculating using that calculator, they don't still have the chance to get to the required score. So that is it for educational qualification. If you have two educational qualification, it's good that you do a WES evaluation. Another one is WES evaluation. This is whereby um, there are different bodies that assess this educational qualification. Like in pharmacies, there are people that are going to use to do your WES evaluation. As a nurse, even if you're a diploma nurse, there's another body that you use to do your WES evaluation. If you're a doctor too, there are different bodies. So you
Mm.
can't just move to WES and say, oh, WES, do my evaluation. You have to check very well if your qualification will be done by WES, because if it's not done by WES will just, if it's not done by them, they will just rate you low and you can't get a good score. So when you are doing all of this, search very well for your occupation or the profession that you have. If you have a professional qualification, please ensure that you use the right evaluation body so that they can assess you very well and all of that. So that is it. So for people that are living in the Western world, like in the UK,
Yeah.
there's option for extra. Maybe these five that I just said now: age, um, um, work experience, language. I mentioned 5 things. Those 5 things, they are just the normal ones they have. Then they now have extra ones. They are going to ask you if you have somebody that lives in Canada, maybe a relative that lives in Canada. If you have an international education, maybe you've studied in Canada or you studied in UK or in Australia or in the US. If you say yes to all of this, your score will spike.
Mm.
Then another one too, they might ask you is that if you've had international experience, like in the UK, US, all those places,
Yeah.
if you say yes, it will spike. So that's why those people that are in the UK,
Mm.
when they impute that they've gone to school in the UK, they've
Mm.
had work experience in the UK, and they give evidence on that, before you know it, their score will increase and they
Mm.
will nominate them to come in as permanent residents. Another
Mm-hmm.
one too that can help someone, even if you're in Africa or if you are in the Western world that you want to migrate to Canada, another thing that can help to spike your score is another thing they call provincial nomination. Provincial nomination is when a province, because we have different provinces in Canada, so maybe they are looking for people that will come into their province to help the labor market and all of that. So they try as much as possible to look out for those ones in the express entry that have those qualifications, and give them, add 600 marks to their previous score, and the score will just spike. That one is even the highest one, because
Hmm.
if you have like 300 score in your express entry,
Mm.
and you are not going front, you are not going back. So when, and maybe you are a nurse, you're a registered nurse in your country, and after all of these calculations, you have 300. So when this province comes and they say they want to nominate nurses, they will give you 600 points. And when you add 600 points to 300, it's 900 now. So you are eligible. They will must invite you to apply for permanent residency. And that is what is really happening now. I encourage people that are into all those professions that Canada is looking out for. If you are into health, if you are into construction, if you're into agriculture, it's best time for you to go venture into this express entry, because you don't know who will call. You don't even know if you will get a nomination, because now they really need health workers, especially health workers. They
Mm.
really need health workers in almost all the provinces. This one is the one I know very well. If you're into health work and healthcare, please try as much as possible to um, get into this pool, and also do your best too, to even
Yeah.
if province, don't depend on province, right? But
Mm.
still do your own best to get those scores that are required, so that at the end of the day you will hear, there are lots of benefits. But I know that, as you said before, there are people who migrate here, and at the end of the day they will not get a job. Yes, it's
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, I heard that some persons moved to Canada on this PR and they're struggling to get the job. And I'm like, so why the rush if you're struggling to get a job in Canada? So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, I have lots of people. I have lots of them. Even the ones that came in from the UK. She's
Mm.
a carer in the UK. Even
Mm.
with her experience as a UK carer and that
Mm.
of the qualification as a carer in the UK, she was not still able to get a job here in the province I am right now, because she don't have Canadian work experience, because that is what affects most people, new immigrants, as they migrate to Canada. To get a job is not really easy, because they want you to have Canadian work experience. They want you to have some licenses that will prove that yes, you are capable to do the job or the skill. They don't want to, because they are so compassionate. They are so compassionate about safety, and they don't want anything that you will do at the end of the day you put someone in trouble. Like in healthcare, I'm just talking about, I don't know for other fields.
Yeah.
So they want you to have deep, in-depth knowledge about what you are doing. Do you know what you are doing? Do you have licenses? Have you tried as much as possible to improve yourself or get some qualification that will help you? Like, even as a cook, you can come here, you still not get a job, because you need to get some safety certifications that yes, you can be able to cook, you can't burn yourself or you can't burn someone, you know how to control machineries and all of that. So even
Yeah.
if you come here as a new immigrant, don't just realize that okay, I'm this person in my country or in one country. Just enter the system, know what they want. There are a lot of requirements they are looking out for. Even if you can't get the job at that time, or because you don't have work experience, it's good that you volunteer, because there are lots of volunteers that you can do for you to get this job employment or whatever. So venture into, I know you will not be paid, right? But you need to
Yeah.
sacrifice, right? So that's
Mm.
why when you are coming into Canada, you have to have enough money with you. Don't just borrow money to come into Canada. At the end of the day, you don't have a job, you can't even pay for your rent and all of that. So if you're coming, you have to organize yourself. Come in with some money, so that even after 3 or 6 months you do not get a job, you can be able to sustain yourself, or you can be able to doing some volunteer jobs that can earn you work experience, because work experience is the cocoa here. If you don't have work experience, nobody will even listen to you. So when you tell them that yes, I volunteer, they will be like, yeah, this person is good, so you can volunteer to the society. You want,
Yeah.
you want growth and all of that, they would just take you. Some people will be like, that company that you want to work, just go there and volunteer. It's going
Mm,
to cost you money because you will transport yourself from your house to that place. You
mm.
would eat. So have enough cash with you as a new immigrant, because you can't just unless you're coming in, you have a work seated waiting for you. That one is a different thing. But
Yeah.
as a newcomer, it's not easy.
Mm. So does
Honestly, it's not easy.
so does that mean some persons go there and they have got job waiting for them?
Yes, they do. But right now, I think they've reduced that. Before, they'll have what they call LMIA. Yeah, they have LMIA. I can't remember the full meaning. Impact, some labor market impact assessment stuff, right? So
Yeah.
what how this works is that if you, for instance, I'm in Nigeria and I applied for a job in Canada, and at the end of the day, it happens that some people in Canada, or most people in Canada, like the Canadians, the permanent residents, the people that are on work, on temporary work permits,
Mm.
are not able to get, are not able, or will I say that they are not interested in the job,
Yeah.
right? So what an employer will do now is that maybe the employer has searched all over Canada, he can't get someone that can do the job. So what the employer will do now is that he will go to the government and tell the government that I have searched for employers in Canada. I can't find. I want to employ somebody from outside Canada. So what the government will do is that they will now go and paste that job in the job bank, in the
Mm.
country job bank. So if somebody comes and apply for that job that is in Canada, they can't be able to bring in somebody again from outside. But after advertising that job, after the government have advertised the job for over how many months, I don't know how many months they used to advertise that job, and nobody came for that job or applied for that job. That's why they will now give the employer the certificate or whatever they would give to the employer to go outside Canada to employ someone. And when someone applies that job from outside country, they would do their interview and all of that, and the employer will give the certifications for the person to use to apply for his work permit. So at
Mm.
the end of the day, the person is now coming to Canada as on work permit, and
Okay.
they've arranged when you will start and all of that, his accommodation or whatever. The person is now coming as a worker. So at the time of the appointment, or the time of the day he's going to start the work, he will not start going to work. So that's that. But now they think they've reduced that. They said they want Canadians and permanent people that are living in Canada to be doing that one. They don't need people outside. But there are exemptions. If you are into health,
Yeah.
you can still come. They can still apply that. If you are into construction, if you are
Yeah.
into agriculture, those three occupations are people that can still come through that route. But others
Mm.
is a no, right? So that's
Okay.
how it works.
Okay. So now, because now the trending thing is this Canada PR. So number one is for them to download the calculator, isn't it? The calculator.
Yeah, calculator, yeah. Because everybody has different stuff, right? So if you calculate yourself and you know you're having a good mark, like the score now is around 500 and something plus. And before you will get that 500 and something plus, you're going to do like this. So it's best for you to know your score, because you know yourself, you know what you can. You have not taken IELTS, but you will assume that you've taken IELTS. What are the score that you're going to get? And that IELTS I talked about, especially the listening, you should have around 7.5 upwards. If you have other ones, 7.0, 7.0 is okay, right? But if you have that 7.5 in listening and others in 7.777, it's still okay. But when you have others 7.5 and you have listening below, they will think that when you come here, you can't hear what the Canadians or people, you can't interact with people, you can't, because one barrier here is that sometimes when you speak to them, they don't hear you. Even when they speak back, you can't hear them. So I think that listening, that was why they made that one the highest one, so that there can be an effective communication. Because if there's no effective communication, there's not, I don't know how it's going to work. So that's why they made that
Yeah.
one the highest one. So that is it. The age is the first one. The
Okay.
the what is it called again? The work experience, the language, the West evaluation and your educational qualification, 5. Then you now have extra ones, whether you have somebody in Canada, a family member, it should be a family member. That's why you have to have good terms with your family members. You know, some people now, when they relocate to Canada, they stop talking to their family members and all of that. So, family members now, like now, I'm a permanent resident. Before I became a permanent resident, they asked me about my siblings, my relationship with them, you know, and all of that. So you need to include your siblings. Like if my sibling wants to come to Canada now through permanent residence, and he or she will indicate that that he has a sister who lives in Canada, and they will now go and check if the sister included his name while I was filling my permanent residency stuff. So it's good that people that have family members back home, have family members, they should include their families in case they want to come to Canada, and they can still verify the stuff through you that is a permanent resident or is a Canadian citizen in Canada.
Oh,
So
wow. After the
mhm.
application and you check out your score and all of that, that's when you now start doing the real application, isn't it?
Yes, yes, you have to. That's when you start now for you start preparing for your English test or your language test. You start going for your evaluation. You pay for your evaluation. That evaluation they will just want to check if your education is equal to Canadian standard. If it is not, they are going to rate you low. They will tell you that it's not up to Canadian standard of
Yeah.
education, depending on what you studied. So you have to now start doing all the pay for your evaluation fee, start practicing for IELTS, pay for IELTS, and take the exam. Then when you take the exam, you now open express entry pool and then register all those things and be in the pool and be praying. But if you are married too, I forgot to add that if you are married, a married person, the person that is younger and have higher qualification should be the principal applicant,
Okay.
because being the youngest person would help you get more scores, while the other person that is older or that has lower qualification should just write the IELTS exam
Mm.
and evaluate his educational qualification just to boost you a bit, because there is a score too for a partner that wants to join. So
Mm.
it's best, yeah, it's best for the person that is younger to to be the principal applicant.
Okay. So do you know how long this pool thing takes? Do you know how long it takes for them
It,
to?
it takes some people. It all depends, right? It depends on your grades too. If you have a province that needs you, I don't think maybe you just enter, because I know someone that just created express entry stuff, and after 3 months or whatever, 4 months, they got a nomination from a province. So it's just by luck. It's
Look,
just like
yeah.
a pool.
Mm.
So some people stay there like 3 years, 4 years. They are just swimming there, you know. So you
Gosh.
have to be strategic. If you know that your I don't know, but it all depends on you, right?
Yeah.
And God and
Mm.
luck too.
Yeah.
So, but the best part is just to be in the pool. If
Yeah.
it works, that's okay. If it does not work, you look for another route. There are so
Yeah.
many routes to come to Canada. You can come
Mm.
as a student.
Mm.
A family can sponsor you. You can
Yeah.
come as a visitor. So many routes to come to Canada, right?
Mm.
Not only permanent residency, but the permanent residence is the best
Yeah.
route to come to Canada, because
Mm.
you are not coming to spend money. Just
Yeah.
like when you are coming as a student, you'll be paying thousands of dollars in school fees and all of that. But if you're coming as a permanent resident, what you just need is for you to get a job. You don't need to become and be running from this one to the other, looking for stuff to pay and all of that. So the best route is express entry, and it's difficult to get, but it's the best way to come to Canada. I would
Mm.
advise anybody that I know to use express entry to come to Canada, so that
Mm.
even the ones that came as students, some of them have not even gotten PR in Canada. So it's
Mm.
not even easy coming as a student, because
Mm.
your chances of getting PR is slim, because right now they are approving people that have the courses that are required. If you don't have the courses that are required in Canada,
Mm.
it will be difficult for you to get a job, right?
Mm.
To get a job and also to get your PR. You know, when you after studying in Canada, you have your postgraduate work permit and all of that. Then you still need a work. So if what you studied is not in demand, you will just be roaming about, or
Yeah.
So some of them enter school again to study for personal support worker, spending another money again to study for personal support worker, so that after that they will get a job and have a
Yeah.
work experience that will give them PR.
Mm. Hmm. Oh dear, it's not easy.
So coming to Canada now to study, please ensure you have a course that can give you PR in Canada. People
Yeah,
that came in as a as business management,
they're struggling.
it's too much. I
Mm.
know a lot of them, they've not gotten their PRs. They are just entering, all of them are just switching to personal support worker. But
Mm.
this is not coming to Canada now, is not just to come and do any course you want, just to japa. Guy,
Yeah,
you will suffer, you depression will just be your name, because we cannot be in a country that you don't have a valid status. So
yeah,
is depressing. So the best thing to do is you have to think otherwise, because if you just come and waste that kind of money, at the end of the day you will not get a job. Even for you to get a postgraduate work permit, you need to write IELTS and my
yeah.
sister, it's not easy now. I wish, honestly speaking, it's not easy now. But God will
Anyway,
help
I
us.
just Amen. Oh. I just feel like to make this video because I noticed the latest trend now is this PR route, even in the UK.
Hmm.
Like I said the other day, I went to work. My coworker before, and they said, "Oh, she has resigned." I said, "What happened?" They said she went to Canada. Hey,
Ah,
she has relocated to Canada. I was like, "This Canada, they hot to this PR
it's a
is
hot
real
streak, yeah.
going get." Anyway, if you have watched this video to this very end, leave me a comment on any type of video you like Cynthia. Yeah, and also feel free to check out her YouTube channel because she is really dishing out very, very interesting content, especially for those of you that are wanting to migrate to Canada. Check out, Cynthia's YouTube channel. I'm going to leave her YouTube channel, her Facebook, all of that on the description, like I said, for easy access for those of you looking for such opportunity. And also feel free to leave me a comment on any type of video you would like us to make. We'll definitely try our best and get back. Anyway, with this, we've come to the end of today's video. I'll see you guys in my next post. Bye, guys.
Mm.